G'day everybody and welcome to this week's show. No, it's not Macca. He is in lockdown at the moment, so I get the opportunity to join you. Greg Evans is my name. You may remember Perfect Match from the 80s. Here's my perfect match, my wife Sue, and we're lucky enough to have this beautiful concept off-road caravan to be able to take around some of the best spots in northeastern Victoria. We hope you enjoy the show this week on What's Up Down Under.
It's time to see this land of wonder. It's time to go and see what's up down under. What's up down under.
We've been lucky enough to get the keys to the Ram and the concept off-road, and because I could, I immediately took it, well, off-road. Look at these bumps. How's that?
Yeah.
Just glides over them, the car and the caravan. This whole rig just turns dirt into blacktop. I mean, it's just
Would you
glides
consider
along.
doing dirt then? With this rig and van?
Yes.
It's a change of heart.
It's a good spot to be if you just want quiet and, rural. This is what I like. Look at this. Dirt and dust, off-road, and everything going beautifully.
Jeepers. I didn't realise this place was so big.
Beechworth is a 3-hour trip from Melbourne, and it's one of those towns where you can immediately tell when it boomed and developed. The streetscape here tells the tale of a city built on gold. In 1852, gold was indeed found here. Less than a year later, 8,000 hopeful prospectors had arrived. By 1857, the town swelled to 20,000 people, and they were indeed prosperous. The legacy here has been incredibly well looked after, and Beechworth now has some 30 National Trust listed buildings. Upon arrival, in amongst getting settled, Macca popped in, well, digitally, just to make sure that we were all set.
Sue and Greg, g'day. Sorry I can't be there, but I'm stuck here in lockdown in New South Wales.
How cool is this? We get to talk to Macca. Well, thanks for having us. I hope it's not too tough where you are at the moment.
And I see you got the concept off-road. How's that going for you?
We
Wonderful.
love this. Yeah, we have this really good caravan. We have been absolutely spoiled. This caravan goes anywhere. We've got the Ram to tow it with, so we have had a ball on some dirt and by the river, and it's done its job. It's a beautiful caravan, and towing it with your vehicle has been a treat, Macca.
Now, Sue, has he been taking care of my Ram?
Yes, he certainly has.
It's the biggest truck I've ever driven, Macca, and but I mean, the power's fabulous. It tows this caravan, and don't forget this is an off-road caravan, and you'd hardly even know it's there. And it's great for donuts too.
What do you like about the interior, Sue?
I love the washing machine. Massive amount of room. I'm very impressed with how much space, wardrobe space and drawer space there is. The cooker, the fact that we've got a microwave.
And the size of the fridge too. Massive fridge and
wonderful.
freezer. When you're out there, way out there, you need something decent like that. It's a compressor fridge too.
Definitely.
You don't need to preach to me about the importance of a good fridge. And have you been able to put your jocks and socks anywhere?
There is so much storage space, I can't quite believe it.
Storage space everywhere. More storage space than socks and jocks, I've got to tell you, but that's another story.
Is there any chance I'm going to have my hosting gig back once I can get out of this state?
No. It depends where you're scheduled to go next. If we like it, we'll go.
Good on you, Macca. Thanks for letting us fill in for you, and I hope you have a safe trip back.
Vehicle support for this episode is provided by Ram Trucks. Find out why Ram Trucks eat utes for breakfast by logging on to ramtrucks.com.au.
So Keir, if you're going shopping for an off-road caravan, have you got the advice for the viewers?
I think one of the most important things is to know your weights, John. making sure that whatever you want to add onto your caravan gets done while it's being built, and not adding that weight onto your van after you get it, because then you're just going to cut into your payload. It's super important when you want to carry that extra water and fuel or any other item that you want to go off-roading with.
And it's handy. Hook it up and away you go.
Yeah, so things like your stone guard, your toolbox, your kitchen, just make sure you get them all in at the factory before the van comes out.
Perfect.
Beechworth honey is a staple of many Australian homes, and at headquarters, well, it's all about the bees.
Bees pollinate 2/3 of Australia's agricultural production. So worldwide, 1 in 3 mouthfuls of food are reliant on bees for pollination. We generally have a collection of 40 to 50 single varietal honeys. Australia's got the world's largest collection of honey. Every honey has a different flavour. So what we've done is we've put all of the milder honeys down the start. The brighter, fresher flavours are in the fruity range. The warm flavoured honeys tend to be a little bit more caramelly. The bold honeys tend to be the darker, stronger honeys.
I've never seen so many different honeys in all my life. And there was even a honey cookbook.
So let's start with the delicate. So we've got an ironbark.
I knew a man from Ironbark.
Yeah. Quite sweet, no aftertaste. Just pleasant, dreamy kind of honey.
That is heaven.
Then we go to a blue gum. It's much sort of fresher in flavour.
That's quite different.
Then our avocado honey, which is one of our quite rare honeys. So this is a much more savoury honey, and you get the warmth that I'm talking about in that group.
This is oral gratification.
Yeah.
This is just beautiful. This experience really opened up our eyes and our palates to all the different honey available.
Snow gum honey is, again, quite a rare honey. So it's a really strong flavoured honey, and you'll get a bitey aftertaste. And it's like, yeah, it catches you at the back of your throat, doesn't it? With just 4 tastes of honey, you can actually work out which of these groups you actually prefer.
Goodness.
Which one do you prefer?
Well, the first one I tasted, and that's probably because I'm a fresh palate, but that was just sensational.
I like the warm.
Did you?
In the lifetime of a bee, they will make 1 teaspoon of honey.
It's kind of like visiting a vineyard, but instead of wine, there's honey. Lots of different flavours. I like this because not only is it a jar of honey, but you can have a little tipple out of it later on. Do you know, I've been to Beechworth several times, and I love all the different things that Beechworth has got to offer, but I had never been into the honey shop. I was blown away. One of the real highlights of Beechworth is the honey shop.
I'm a 4th generation beekeeper. I married somebody who wasn't a beekeeper, and then he fell in love with the bees after, well, I think before he fell in love with me, I'm not sure which, but anyway, he loves bees and he loves me, so that's good. So what we've got here is the replication of the hive. So in the bottom box is where the queen lays all her eggs and the breeding happens. And then the boxes at the top are the honey supers. Bees are amazing, and the industry is a really clean industry. It's a perfect recycling system because the frames are reused by the bees. We take that box away, we extract the honey out of the frames, those empty frames go back on the bees to actually refill with honey again. And even the wax that we take, we then use for other products like candles.
So perfect recycling.
Perfect recycling.
Very good.
Concept Caravans have created the XTS Dirt Rotor, and I'm joined here by Michael Pelham, who's going to tell me all about it. Michael, it's a beautiful van.
Absolutely. Look, this has been in the making for a very long time, and it comes standard with so many features. Normally you'd have to add your extra solar panel, your extra battery, independent suspension, plus more. This has all got the features all standard. The Concept XTS has got independent suspension, dual solar, dual batteries, grey water tank. Any graded, corrugated road in Australia where your car can go, the van can pretty much go. All the luxuries you've got an upgraded Fusion sound system, you've got an external TV box, all your standard features, reverse camera, roll-out awning, picnic table, wind-up antenna, the list goes on. So the business has been around since 2004, and the three owners, Kia, Steve and Bruno, they were in the caravan industry for a very, very long time. In 2004, they figured out a way to do caravans a lot better than probably a lot of other companies out there. So they started off 16 years ago, and since then they've been one of the market leaders. This particular van is generally grey nomads, or if you just want to go off the grid for a few months at a time. This is a two-berth caravan. We are the family van specialists as well, but this particular van's been based off customer feedback for many, many years. The inside is where it gets good. You've got genuine leather in there, double stitched all the way through, washing machine, Fusion sound system, recessed cooktop, the biggest fridge freezer you can get, and the latest and greatest technology as well.
Michael, if we want to find out any more about the XTS or any of the other products in the Concept Caravan range, where should we head?
The full range, including the XTS, is on conceptcaravans.com.au.
This episode has been proudly brought to you by Nova Caravans, one of the best of the best. For more information on their full range, jump onto novacaravans.com.au.
High on a hill overlooking Beechworth is the eerie old Beechworth Jail. It's a living history lesson, starting with the front gates.
So Alan Kelly, Ned's mum, was captured, and when she was incarcerated here at the old Beechworth Jail, the Kelly gang formed, and the government of the day were really fearful that the Kelly gang were going to break in and break her out. So they commissioned these gates. About a year and a half after Ned was actually hung, the gates were installed. So they didn't really do their job in the end.
A bit like waiting for you to do things around the house.
Must have cost a bit in those days.
They did. They were about a tenth of the value of the whole prison, so they're extraordinarily valuable and really significant in the context of the history of the site.
It's hard to describe the feeling once you get inside the jail. Spooky, scary, but fascinating.
So Alan was sentenced to 3 years hard labour, and when she was first incarcerated, she had a newborn baby, little baby Grace. And they constructed a door in the back of this cell so that she could take Grace out into the courtyard, if she was unsettled. And this cell then became the cell that all women that had children were put into in the colony of Victoria. Probably something that people aren't that aware of was that there were men and women in this jail, and children. Boys as young as 11 and girls as young as 13 could be put in here.
Gee. Still tiny though.
Yeah, it is.
No thanks.
And the frightening relics of a bygone era continue.
So the executioner would stand here, the prisoner would be there, and they'd eyeball to eyeball basically, and then pull it. So the executioner was a prisoner.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that was one of your jobs. They'd actually sell tickets to local business and church leaders in the town, and they'd sit down the bottom there.
And that prisoner that was selected to pull that, what if he'd made friends with that?
Yeah.
But there's no surprise where the fascination of most tour groups lies. It's Ned and his gang.
So Joe Byrne, this was his armour. He was petrified of getting shot through the eyes, so he'd designed his armour to close in that eye area. During the Glenrowan siege, he took off the lower plate and ended up getting shot through the groin and bled out. After the police got into the Anne Jones Inn, they found the bodies of Dan Kelly and Steve Hart, and then Ned obviously came out all guns blazing and took the police on.
Ned was actually quite tall for a man in that era.
Yeah, he definitely was, and these are to
height.
scale, yeah. The plan with the armour was foolhardy. I mean, just to demonstrate it, that helmet is 1/3 of the actual weight. And
gee, that's heavy, isn't it? That's only 1/3.
Yeah, and then they had the rest of the armour as well to deal with as well.
So move.
Yeah, and ultimately, that's what was Ned's undoing.
It's kind of spooky to see things as perhaps Ned would have, just through this very, very heavy piece of armour. It was an eerie feeling, and the most eerie part for me was Ned Kelly's cell. Just, I've read a lot about Ned, and I'm interested in the history of Ned Kelly and the Kelly gang, but to actually be in the room where Ned was put with all the shotgun pellets in his legs after Glenrowan was, yes, it was eerie. He would have been in a lot of pain.
He would have been, yeah, and he had his committal hearing here in Beechworth, so each day of the committal hearing he'd have to walk across the road or be taken across to the courthouse.
Gee, in those days, no toilet, no sink, there would have been, what, buckets?
Yeah, 3 buckets in here, so there was one for fresh water for drinking, one for washing and obviously one for waste. There was no heating, there was no lights. It was basically just the bed, blankets and their daily feed. So, and the prisoners back then would spend 12 hours a day in the cell and 12 hours out.
A passionate team of very well-informed staff and tour guides really brings this place back to life. It's well worth a look around.
Miss an episode of What's Up Down Under? Don't worry, just log on to 10play.com.au, get exclusive access to past episodes and unseen content. Make 10play your home for online content. Throughout our travels, Yamaha generators have been powering us along our way. For more information on their full range of products, jump onto generatoryamaha.com.au. It's finally here, Australia's first outdoor four-wheel drive caravan and touring online streaming service. You can enjoy thousands of hours of premium lifestyle content right in the palm of your hand. Watch the Off-Road Adventure Show, Camper Trailer Lifestyle, and soon you'll even get to see the What's Up Down Under team. It's all available for just $9.95 a month. Jump on trackyaka.tv and sign up today.
Caravan Camping Classifieds, Camper Trailer Lifestyle and Caravan Industry News have teamed up with our mates at Cub Campers to bring you the Camp Like a Boss competition. Your chance to win over $36,000 in prizes. The first prize boss wins a Cub Scout camper, a Mike Coleman fridge pack and a Yamaha generator. The brand new Cub Scout camper from Cub Campers is valued at over $30,000. Built on an Australian steel chassis, the Cub Scout comes with standard features like a slide-out kitchen, space-saving LED lights, plus a solar input to charge the battery system. For ultimate boss power, you also win this quiet and efficient Yamaha generator and the My Coleman fridge pack. Our runner-up boss wins the Zoleo satellite communicator. Stay in touch anywhere in the world. You can enter every day of the competition and it's free. Increase your chances by subscribing to our free Caravan Camping Classifieds Buyer's Guide or Camper Trail Lifestyle e-magazine and receive a bonus 50 entries. There's still more chances to win one of $450 gift vouchers from RV Online. Your online store for everything caravan and camping. The Cub Camper Camp Like a Boss competition is now on, so get your entries in today.
Lunch was at the Beechworth Provendor. Now the food was amazing, but Martin had a little something else up his sleeve. Opals. Martin, you actually dug these?
Yeah, exactly right, Greg.
Congratulations. Tell us about this big one.
So, a little bit of Australian seam opal. Comes from out near Grawin or Glengarry.
One of the ultimate feelings when you're underground, down in your opal mine, and you strike pay dirt. You strike a genuine Australian black opal, of which this is. And what I'm holding here is approximate value somewhere between $25,000 and $40,000.
Black opal, one of the rarest opals you can find in the world, and the home of black opal is Lightning Ridge. So
and the colours,
just spectacular, and the pattern.
Oh, is this what every opal miner searches for?
Certainly
black
looking
opal?
for something along those lines.
Yeah.
More than one would be nice, but it doesn't tend to happen that way. Fantastic.
Look at this. You can't take your eyes off this. The way it catches the light, and Australia. Opal is Australia's national
gemstone. Yeah.
If I could run, I would have done. But I've never seen so many, even though it was black, the colours in the black opal were just superb. Absolutely beautiful.
While we were on the trail of hidden gems, we came across the Burke Museum, a monument to the brave explorer. The great man himself, Robert O'Hara Burke. If you used his initials, ROB, they just called him Rob. But anyway, these are his saddlebags that he had across the camel. His saddlebags, his genuine saddlebags. Burke's saddlebags. Don't know where his wheels are, but they're his saddlebags. The attention to detail of this streetscape is extraordinary. Makes one feel quite poetic. Have a look at this, sir. Look at that. A genuine barber's chair from over 100 years ago. The barber man was small and flash, as barbers mostly are. He wore a strike-your-fancy sash and he smoked a huge cigar. Banjo Patterson, also from 100 years ago. It really has a little of everything, and certainly a lot of history of its own.
This is what amazes me about this country, animals like this.
This is a thylacine, otherwise known as a Tasmanian tiger. Well, these used to be all over Australia, but 3,000 years ago they were limited to just Tasmania. They're extinct now. The last one seen in the wild was about 1932. This was donated to this museum, would you believe, 170 years ago.
How do you know all this?
Well, I just read it.
Oh.
Local legends are saluted, as well as a section on the gold rush and the many new Australians that it brought with it. Well, all good things must come to an end, and we have had a fantastic time, haven't we, sir?
We have loved Beechworth.
Beechworth is terrific. We'd like to thank our friends at Concept Caravan. The Concept Off-Road is just fabulous. Next time, we're going to take you to the mighty city of Wangaratta, and there's beautiful things to see and do there. We hope you'll join us on
What's Up Down Under?
What's up down under?